update of where we are. So everything now is tidied up there. I need to do that one wire there, which is the power from the battery all the way to the fuse box inside. So that'll be all sorted. Started making a go of it down here. So you can kind of see what we're doing routing wise. So those that come through from the inside or through this tunnel, the over wheel arch out here. And obviously you've got your reverse switch all soldered in. You've got your starter motor, one of your coolants, all your oils are in, and a separate oil pressure sensor that's got a dial for in this dash. So they're all things. So you can kind of see what we're trying to create. So that's the rough routing. Obviously the new ECU bits will all be routed in with that. So I pulled 3 wires through for his crank sensor, which I'll get onto that. But when you order a EMU black, it comes as this in a little box, and you get 3 bundles of wires like this, which then state on them. This will be good. You see that? Is that focused in?
Yeah.
That is your centre ground wire. So as they come all like this, I have to route through all that, and route through all that, and route through the second pile, and actually get what I want. So obviously all these centre grounds will be put in, and then it's a case of then, the last one, as I know, was number 39, so you get a black plug, grey plug, you pick which ones you want. So roughly those ones that are circled are the basics of what I know I need, and then the analogues and things like that might be set up for cold start and things like that. Anyway, so then you obviously thread it through your rubberised what's it to keep a little bit of moisture out in the plug, and through there, and then shove it through to get your little click like that. And then that's all ready for that plug and that plug, and I'll just throw that over there. So my initial plan is to get all these unrouted. So in there, I know for a fact I ain't got my injectors yet, so my injectors will be in there. Obviously this does up to 6 cylinders, which I won't need 6 cylinders because obviously it's 4-cylinder engine, so I'm only going to put 4 cylinders in, which makes sense. So there'll be a few spare wires in this bundle that he needs. Like, I've already done the coil packs, and there's 2 spare coil pack wires that he's got in there that he don't need because they're obviously cylinder 5 and 6, which you can keep them or put them in bin or whatever he wants to do with them when they're done. But that's where we're up to, getting all this thing. These are about that much too short of what I've measured where they need to go for excessive use, which is literally, when I run a wire out, is the length of this dyno. So if I needed a wire, I start from here, go to here, and that's the length I'm using from the ECU to the engine bay, which gives me a little bit of overflow of whatever I need to put it in the right place. And it stops about here where I need it to be. So they make them nice and long, but not quite long enough for what we want to do. But yeah, I'm going to solder all the joints inside the cab so it's nice and neat. They'll all get cut short, get put to where they need to do. I might even bullet connector them to make sure it's all running right, then solder them all nice and neat afterwards and make it all sexy and sweet after that. But yeah, that's where we're up to so far. Catch you in the next bit. It's starting to look like an engine again, isn't it? So yeah, everything's in the engine bay now, apart from obviously the coil pencils. These are just some second-hand ones you have. He's gone for a brand new rocker cover in crackle black, which I think
does look nice. Yeah.
Looks nice. Is we know good because of the port for his breathers were in the wrong place, so the oil was splashing up from the cams straight through the breather all over the back of the engine, which is why there were oil all over it. So yeah, new rocker cover with a port in it. GB Steelworks, SB Steelworks. Put it in that bit, Mike, who they actually are. But yeah, thank you very much for that. Amazing company. Found them on eBay, but rang the kid, sound very, very knowledgeable about this. He doesn't just do these, but he's obviously got a fan of them. But yeah, you can see basically now what we're trying to achieve. If I take that off, you might get a bit better view. You can take air temp sensor, throttle position sensor, and obviously all your wires now bundle down here and then come down here nice and neat to this joint here. That's your crankshaft sensor, which I put a brand spanking new one in because it was all probably slung it because of been throwing everything else on the floor. But yeah, it was all starting to crack, and I think it was 14 quid. It's not worth not putting one on. And the idea, once I've got it now to a running position, it'll all be then neatened off with this sleeving stuff. I've had to order some more of that, which is why these aren't done yet, because I ain't got on any of that. These are on a separate plug underneath there, so if you ever needed to inlet off, you can leave all that plugged on, undo this grey plug here and lift it off as a wunner to keep that all neat and tidy. And like I said, in the little bit before, the length of the wires run all the way from here over the arch and then into here, which obviously we're not mounting it on the seat, but it gives me a chance to see what I'm doing and give me a lot of extra playroom for them positioning when it's running. So I will run it like this with just bullet connectors like that are all labelled up for what they actually do, and then once that's running and I know it's fine, I will then obviously work out where that exactly where that's going to get positioned, and yeah, button it all up. So yeah, once I get that sleeve in, I can finish off my wiring and I can think about getting it running. I've still got some wiring to do in here. The power lead that was for the starter motor, which will have been in episode 1, which were dangerous out of running underneath the car, that's going to get redone, so I haven't actually got that yet, which no biggie, and a few other bits and bats that I've got to plumb in and sort out. But yeah, with Brocket's back of what we needed to do and everything else, then once it's done and running, it'll be then a big tidy up job and make it look mint and smart and tidy, and that'll be what will finish job off properly. So next video might be running, hopefully be running. If not, it'll be head scratching moments working out where I've gone wrong and what I've done, and we'll talk you through that as well. My plan is, once I've got it running, to do a bit more of an in-depth this is this and that if you needed to do one of these golfs yourself. Hopefully Jim Bob will give us time to do that for him as well. He's got lots of other things that he wants to do in and around it, whether we're doing it or they're doing it and everything else. But yeah, catch you in the next episode. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.